I know you are very excited about this coaching staff, especially because there's a familiar name on this staff that you are quite familiar with, and that's Lamar Conard.
Yeah. Lamar was a teammate of mine. He was here when I got here. He was the first guy I remember. The first guy that I think he was the first guy that Joe Tiller gave a scholarship to. He was a walk on, and Coach Tiller gave a scholarship to Lamar because he earned it. He's playing DB as a starter, and it was just awesome. I mean, you talk about a life changing event for a guy and a teammate. And I'll never forget that. And Lamar's one of my good friends. We've stayed in touch over the years. He's an interesting guy. He got a background. He wanted to be a teacher. He started coaching kind of later on a little bit. I think he started in the college ranks when he was like 30, and then he's got a background in like teaching and social work, and so he's really a mentor for these kids as well as a coach. And I think that's going to be huge for our program to have Lamar here. He was the running backs coach, and I think he had a coordinator position, at least in name a little bit at Illinois State under Brock Spack for a lot of years. He was also at Miami of Ohio for the last number of years, as well as the running backs coach. And like I said, I think I'm so happy Lamar's here. It's like having one of your brothers come home. It's just great. And I was fortunate. We sat down and talked a little bit yesterday, and just kind of bring him up to speed on what's going on around here. And we it was much more of talking about the guys we played with, and our friends and teammates and things, and who's around, and who to catch up with, who he keeps in touch with, who I keep in touch with, and kind of just getting each other up to speed a little bit. But I'm so excited to have Lamar here, and leading this, leading our guys, our football team, in a positive way. So yeah, fired up for Lamar. He's going to be great. He's going to take Maccabee and Downing, all those guys to. I think he's going to be just terrific for them and for our whole offense and team in general. He can be a sounding board for everybody. So Lamar's awesome. I haven't got a whole chance. I met Corey Patterson just briefly. Down at the bowl game, I met Coach Walters. I met Coach Harrell down there a little bit. So I mean, I've gotten to know him a little bit. I think in the next few months, hopefully I'll get to know him a little bit more. Watching them in their spring practices, being at different events with them, and just kind of feeling them out. But that's going to be the big thing. That's what I'm fired up. I'm ready to have another podcast after our first couple spring practices, and talk about what we see down the field, because I'm excited to see what Graham Harrell's going to bring to the table. I'm excited to see what our defense will kind of look like. Spring's always different, but with this spring, they're going to be installing a lot of stuff, and you're going to kind of see where guys move around. Who's playing different positions, who's kind of filtering in where. Um, you got a quarterback competition as well. So I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch those spring practices. And yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the staff. Everybody asks me, how do you think they're going to be? Well, it's hard to really tell, right? I mean, it's on paper it looks great. You got a coordinator that puts up a ton, offensive coordinator that's put up a ton of points wherever he's been. Was a great college quarterback, played under a legend in Mike Leach. You got a defensive or a head coach who was a defensive coordinator of the number one team in the country defensively last year. And so on paper it looks just terrific. Now we got to see how they're going to meld and mesh and come together as a staff. And so I'm excited for them.